Quick introduction. I'm Tim. This is Sue.
I'm Sue.
Hi, Sue.
Hi.
How you guys doing?
Oh, awesome! It blew us away that that you'd say yes to chatting to us. So we just we lost our mind yesterday for a couple minutes.
Oh, no problems, man. It's my pleasure.
And I wanted to get it right out of the way because I looked at your IMDb this morning and let me just say, dude, because you've worked with like every single one of my Hollywood crushes. I mean, you worked with Diane Lane, you've worked with like the girls from Charmed, you've worked with, of course, Rachel Nichols, you worked with Stana Katic in Castle. You're awesome.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. I feel lucky. Think of it that way. Wow.
Now we do tend to like start our interviews very light and relaxed. So we were wondering what your favorite movie of all time is.
Oh, that's not an easy question. Geez, well, I'd have to say E.T. is one of them. Braveheart, the director's cut. I mean, there's so many good movies out there. I'd say definitely, I think Gladiator, Braveheart, and E.T. are up there.
Nice, very cool. Now,
those are all very different,
but they're awesome.
Yes, they are.
And I own every single one of those.
E.T., growing up, it just reminds me of my childhood. I think it's such a well-done movie. Braveheart and Gladiator, of course, totally like me as a person. That epitomizes everything that I'm into. Blade Runner, the director's cut.
Oh,
obviously,
yes.
by all those. That's one of the best movies. Avatar was fantastic as far as just being taken into another world. Yeah. That's a taste of a couple of them.
That's brilliant. Now, let's jump right in because both Sue and I have been.
Oh, let me add Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, dude! That is yes, right there. You've just established your cool factor with that movie right there. I love that movie.
Yeah, it's so good. This month's my rainy day movie. Watch that over and over and over again.
Oh yeah, I love that movie. Now, you grew up in Canada. You're born in Calgary, but then moved down south to California and did. You worked in LA you worked as a stockbroker for some time, and then
for 2 years I worked as a stockbroker out here in Southern California.
And then you did the transition in LA to acting, and you've kind of not looked back since, I guess.
Well, man, I've done every type of career you can imagine. I mean, I started out when I was a kid. I used to wash people's windows. I started my own business, and then I went into delivering donuts door to door and pedaling a bicycle with a fridge on the front of it, selling ice cream to construction, stockbroker, sold computer components, did import-export. It's just I've done so many different things, and I think what drew me to acting was I can do all of those things. Mm-hmm. But for 3 months or 6 months at a time, and not be stuck in a cubicle and get the ability to travel to these exotic and beautiful locations, and it's something that just was really rewarding for me.
Which is awesome though, because everything you've done, you're not confining yourself to any one genre. I mean, you're all over the place. You've done crime thrillers. You did Sex and the City. You did an episode of Sex and the City, man. Come on, you're everywhere.
Yeah, you see a lot of me in that episode. And I don't mean that I was in it a lot.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I imagine there are tons of
as I think you do with all of the guys that go into that show.
That's so awesome. But now, can we just jump ahead and talk about your character Carlos on Continuum? How did you even get involved in Continuum?
I was sent a script on a Wednesday, and you're flying to go meet with them in Canada on a Friday. Saturday I found out that I got the show. Monday I moved to Canada for 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, that's in a nutshell. That's how it went.
That is fast. So they knew right from the start that they wanted you then, basically.
I mean, I think I was one of the people that they were considering, and then after our meeting and meeting Rachel, and we did a little work back and forth, her and I, and then I think I was just I feel really fortunate to get this role because I love this show. I love being a part of it. So I'm glad everything worked out.
Yeah, I am addicted, I won't lie. We're 2 episodes left, so I'm fairly sure that you guys are going to give us a big kind of cliffhanger for season 1 because there's already rumors of season 2 coming.
Yeah, well, let's keep our fingers crossed. I sure hope that happens. But from my end understanding. People really want it to, and I hope it happens.
Oh, totally. Now, do you have a favorite a favorite character moment so far for Carlos?
I like when Carlos when he gets to make fun of himself and gets to have a little fun. I mean, a couple of the highlights so far there's been a big kitchen fight scene with me and Terry Chen. Again, this big fight in the kitchen. I think
Oh yeah.
That day of shooting, it was about 300 rounds.
Oh wow.
Out of 2 handguns that we fired off, which is kind of crazy amounts of rounds to be firing off in one day. And then it's just such a great fight scene. And the fight scene that you see has been cut down. That's probably about 70% of it.
Wow.
So there's a lot of stuff that we did that you don't see. It's just a great day of shooting. One of the other kind of funny moments, like I said, is when Carlos likes to make fun of himself or gets himself in a compromising position when he wakes up from being tased in the elevator, and there he is, handcuffed to the elevator. And the director was just like, okay. And I'm like, hey, can I say some stuff here? He's like, yeah. So I probably said about 8 or 9 just ad-lib lines there and just let them cut them in. And so that was fun, giving Carlos a little bit of a sense of humor about his situation. So it's nice to see him as this strong cop that likes to get things done, but then is as a guy that knows that he's got faults and in situations, and self-deprecation is one of my favorite forms of humor. So it's nice to see that the writers and everybody agree that Carlos can be that kind of guy.
It sort of fills him out more as a character too. It gives him more than mention. He's a guy at the end of the day who goes home.
Yeah. And they're so good about that on the show. If we have a suggestion or if we have an idea, they sit down and they really listen to us. And a lot of times they'll incorporate those ideas in. And it's just like a family. We're all working together. They're so good about just coming up with these really interesting storylines and really fulfilling all these characters and planting seeds that pay off in later episodes. And it's nice to be part of such a great team,
Yeah, I do like the fact that for the most part, right even from the first episode, the world was completely realized. I mean, they knew where the characters were going, they knew what they were doing, and they knew what the world was. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Very cool. I just had it. Now, when it comes to what's your favorite part of dealing with Rachel on set? Something tells me she could be a bit of a fun little handful. Yeah.
Something tells me she can be what?
A bit of a fun kind of handful. She looks like she's got a wicked sense.
She can be a handful. She's really, but in the best of ways. She's really focused. She's really cool, and her sense of humor. She's very, very well educated, very smart, and I'm kind of just a big goofball. I'm like a kid. So my sense of humor and hers are completely different. So I love really messing with her with my kind of dumb, frat boy, kind of, childlike sense of humor, and just the look on her face. I think her number one look when dealing with me is just the rolling of the eyes.
Oh, dear.
She's like, oh, boy.
Oh,
and I just love to crack up and have a good time. She's really fun. She's really easygoing, and I think we just have great chemistry off set and on set. It's on set it's very much like her and I is like it's kind of like a brother sister. I'm like the little brother that you never wanted.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just teasing her and bugging her and messing with her. It's great.
Awesome. Now, outside of Continuum, I'm assuming you still have a black belt in Taekwondo and you still kickbox and all that. That must take up a huge part of your day.
Well, I do. Right now, I train probably about 2 to 3 days a week. I'm mostly focused on mixed martial arts right now, which is kind of a combination of everything. And I'm doing a lot of no-gi Brazilian jiu-jitsu right now. So I'm sparring at least 2 days a week. Right now, I got a bunch of cuts on my face because I didn't really fast enough. But yeah, it's something that keeps my mind at ease, keeps my body in shape, keeps my reflexes fast. It's just something that I have to do. It's a lifestyle for me. I can get a lot of built-up energy that I need to get rid of if I'm not training.
Very cool.
So in order to keep my sanity,
yeah, there's that.
I don't have a choice.
Yeah, it's very important to keep your zen. I totally get that.
Yeah.
Now, in the off seasons, because Continuum's on a break right now, what else do you have on the go? Can we see you in anything else coming up? What else is going on?
Yeah, I got a movie coming out in September called Puppy Love with Candace Cameron Bure. It's a fun little quirky romantic comedy. And I did an episode of White Collar, I think, that comes out September 11th.
Oh, cool.
Which is it's kind of a departure from their usual episode. So that's going to be interesting to see. And then I just finished a movie called Bloodline. It's kind of a psychological thriller / vampire horror movie.
Nice.
Sue is nodding.
There's a combination.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, that'll come out next year. We just finished shooting that. So
Cool.
A lot of things on the go. Really looking forward to hopefully coming back to Continuum. So I hope that happens. And
now, will we see any payoff for Jennifer Spence's character of Betty, who seems to be harboring a bit of a crush for Carlos?
Oh yeah? I don't know. They're so interesting because in the show they'll lead you in one direction and then they'll completely take you in another direction, and then sometimes they swing you back around again. So it's kind of hard to tell where anything is going.
And if there was one message,
that's one of the things I like about it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
It
awesome.
keeps me on my toes as an actor, and I read the scripts and I know what's going on, so I can imagine what it must be like for the audience watching and kind of never knowing what's going to be next.
And having to wait a week in between.
That's one of the things I love about like Breaking Bad last season.
Yeah.
You know, it completely leads you down one direction, and all of a sudden, well, I don't want to spoil it if any of the readers here haven't seen it, but have you guys watched Breaking Bad?
I've seen the first couple episodes. Yeah.
Oh, the cliffhanger of last season was so good. And I just feel like our show does that so well. They lead you down one path, and then all of a sudden they just turn around and do something completely different. They're so full of curveballs. It's great.
Now, if you could give one message out to the fans before we go, what would it be?
Oh, man. I don't know if to take this seriously or to go a whole other direction. One message to the fans. I would just say, hey, thanks for watching the show. And because of the appreciation that them watching and seeing the things that they're saying on the internet and all that kind of stuff, there's a really good chance that we're going to see it again. So I just want to say thank you to them for making it all happen.
Awesome.
Yay.
Victor?
That's my serious answer.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I like that.
What was the other one?
We won't go there. It's a PG show.
Fair enough.
Oh, Victor, that was great. Thank you.
Hey, thank you guys for taking the time out today. I really appreciate it.
All right, perfect, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll talk to you guys later.
This is Jack Burton in the Pork Chop Express, and I'm talking to whoever's listening out there. It's a pretty amazing planet we live on here, and a man would have to be some kind of fool to think we're all alone in this universe.